Welcome to UFC Mexico Monday movement on the lines. I'm going to get this out on Sunday, though. And just so you know, Monday movement was a success. But in my opinion, in order to get the most benefit to you guys, I need to put this out on Saturday. And that'll allow you to get the bets in when I do, because we're going to go through these lines and you're going to see just from breaking it down that a lot of these lines have moved quite significantly, and money was put in. Now, if you did follow the live stream yesterday, I gave a sneak peek. Could have got Kevin Gastelum at a plus 400. That line was still available. Now it's a plus 280. We'll go over that. We had a great week last week again. Could have been even better. We lost the last two fights in the card and still profited 14.85 units. And, I'm now expecting a 10-unit day every week. That is the goal. I think that's realistic with the value that we have on these, but I will be honest, if that value starts going away and the market catches up to us, then it's going to be smaller amounts of units, and maybe at that point, though, we can crank up our unit size a little bit. But for now, let's take advantage, let's capitalize on all of this value that we're seeing, and let's get into it. First fight of the night, and I have money on this already at a plus 165. I have 2 units at plus 165. I'm going to review all the bets at the end so you can get your bets in, but I'll let you know the fights that I do have bets on. Austin Hubbard at a plus 165. I have 2 units on, and this one has really just stayed where it's at. Did open at a plus 130. Rapidly, money came in on the other side, and it's gone down a little bit, and it's now back up to a plus 170. My metrics show that Austin Hubbard should be favored here, and he is going up against Mikel Medeiros. And I actually had a bet on Mikel Medeiros in his last fight against Evan Elder that got canceled. So now this one's happening, and my numbers say Austin Hubbard, that he is a better fighter than Evan Elder, and I agree with that. And Medeiros was a plus 135 against Elder, so go figure. They pull these numbers out of who knows where. But the public gets a chance to bet on it, and in our case, we are going to take that Austin Hubbard line. We have it at plus 165, so obviously take it at plus 170. I think it comes down, but you never know nowadays, so tread lightly. I have 2 units. I would like to get a third unit on it, so I hope money comes in on Mikel Medeiros so I can put more on Austin Hubbard, but there you go. Okay, this is one where really you only would have got the best line like I did if you would have bet it a few weeks ago. So even if I would have released this on Saturday, that line was gone. But I will tell you, I've already put another 2 units at this lesser line. So I started out right here. It's barely even showing it. I got Mikel Costa at a plus 195. There it is. And this just shot down after that. At one point, even touched, that plus 115 is where it opened. So it touched plus 150, plus 146. And you know what this tells me? This tells me one big bettor came in on Christian Rodriguez, altered the line. Because look at this jump. It's such a small amount of time that it's not money trickling in. It's a big bet coming in, moving this line, and then they realizing, oh, that's not consensus. Most people like Costa here. So I put another 2 units at plus 121. I put 2 units at plus 195. I have a combined plus 158. I have I'm not even going to say, I want to say Miguel, so I'm going to call him Meli Costa. Meli Costa I had as a 62% favorite to win the fight. So at any plus money, that's a bet, and especially at a plus 195. I think this was just completely mispriced from the beginning. I jumped on it early, jumped on it late. I have a combined plus 158, 4 units out on this, and we'll review that at the end. But I'm still saying this is a good bet. I don't know if it's ever going to come back. I think it's going to sit around here. I honestly think this could flip because he should be favored, and it looks like the market's catching up. So I would take this now on Costa. Okay, this one's interesting. This has moved a lot today. I liked Vince Morales. Let's see where it opened here. I liked him at this plus 300. Came down to plus 240, then back up. And so it's been kind of back and forth. I grabbed him at a plus 235, although I could have got him better here earlier, but then I also just grabbed him at a plus 285. Either way you cut it, I have him a 45% chance of winning, and so this is a bet for sure. It's got Chris Duncan vibes all over it, doesn't it, boys? That was a great bet last week. But if it does have Chris Duncan vibes, that means we're going to see more money come in on Raul Rosas Jr. And so I'm not telling you to take it at 285, but I did. And I have 2 units, and that gives me room for more. I do think money may come in on Raul Rosas Jr., but I'm not playing around with these markets anymore. If I have clear value, I'm taking it. Also, if you look at across the board here, what are we seeing? A lot lower than a plus 285. We still got plus 240 here, plus 244. Now, I will say BetOnline is usually early. They're usually sharp, but I'm grabbing it anyways. Little outlier 285 here. Can't find it anywhere else. BetOnline.ag, best sports book in the game. And you want to see why? Look at this. Look how tight this is. A minus 325, a plus 285. Look at right here what Bovada's hanging on us. Look at this ripoff. Minus 340, so the favorite's higher, and the dog is lower. They're taking 70 points here. BetOnline, best book in the business, taking 40 points. Are you kidding me? Go BetOnline. They're great. Okay, next one, Vince Pichel. Haven't seen much movement, but this movement here made me grab him for sure. I have him like a 43% chance. He's definitely an underdog in this, but not a plus 375 veteran fighter. Rafa Garcia, also very good, does get wins, is reliable, but not at that number. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say on that. That could go anywhere. So do what you want with it. I'd bet it now, but I could also see people, because they just love the parlay, just stick Rafa Garcia in a parlay, see what happens. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Stop putting minus 500s in parlays. Just everyone needs to stop. It's actually keep going, because then I get to bet Vince Pichel at like a plus 600 right before the fight. Good. So that's that one. Not my strongest bet or lean. It's 1 unit so far, so we'll just stick with that for now. This one here is a nice size bet. Carlos Vergara, CJ as they call him, against Edgar Chairez, and super interesting one here for me. This should be so much closer to 50-50. Vergara I have favored to win this fight. If I take a look at my odds here, Vergara, I'm sitting at a 59% chance. And so you give me a plus 240 with a guy I think has a 59% chance, and that's a big bet. So we have 3 units on Vergara. Looks like it opened around the plus 190, is stuck around there for about a week, and then boom, money coming in on Edgar Chairez. And so tread lightly. I have Vergara everywhere from a plus 215 to a plus 265. Now he's a plus 240. So I think my combined on Mr. Vergara, I know I have 3 units, and that is to win 6.95 at a combined plus 232. So there you go. I would definitely take CJ Vergara. This should be 50-50. And you know what? Let's take the opportunity here, because I think this one, not only is it off just on the metrics, but it doesn't make any sense. So let's dive into Vergara. Now, he has had up and down UFC career, but why is that? And I'll tell you why. I've watched every single CJ Vergara fight, and this is why. Ramazan Tamarov. They're throwing him in with Lions. Ramazan Tamarov, he was a plus 260. And shouldn't this just tell you everything? He was a plus 260 against Ramazan Tamarov. He's a plus 240 against Edgar Chairez. Make it make sense. He was a plus 405 against Aso Omabayev, who just fought for contender, like the contender to the flyweight championship. He beats Vinicius Salvador as a minus 175 favorite. He beats Daniel De Silva as a minus 240. He loses to Tatsuro Taira, one of the best in the division. He beats Cledson Rodriguez as a plus 355. Loses to Ode Osborne, who's a good fighter, as a plus 170. Beats Bruno. So Bruno Rodriguez in the Contender Series beats him with a KO TKO. He's dangerous. And if you look at, let's just look at his losses. Ode Osborne, good UFC fighter. Tatsuro Taira, high level at the top of the division. Aso Omabayev at the top of the division. Ramazan Tamarov, I think, will be at the top of the division. So that's who he's lost to. Top of the division. Sorry, Edgar Chairez is not there. And let me tell you why. Here we go. He loses to Joshua Van. He beats the same guy, Daniel Del Silva. So that was a good win. But same guy. There was a no contest against Daniel De Silva. He loses to Tatsuro Taira. and he beats some no-name guys in Fury. He loses to Clayton Carpenter, who's a very good fighter. But so just take a look at that. He hasn't beaten anybody. He's almost a minus 400. He beat Daniel De Silva. That's it. He's beaten one guy as a minus 515 in the UFC. Sorry, not enough. Give me CJ Vergara all day, and I think everything about it, the numbers back it up, the strength of schedule backs it up. I think Vergara is a very tough out. Charez usually kind of relies on getting that submission. He's a good stand-up, and so is Vergara. It's going to be a 50-50 fight, and I think we got 59% on Vergara. Give me that plus 240 all day. So we got 3 units on that. Oh, love it. Next one, we got to go all the way up. We got a lot of fights we're not getting action on. I would say keep an eye out for this Julia Pilastri line. Line's getting good. We're getting a plus 185. We can get above plus 200. There's value on that, but no bet as of right now. Drew Dober, Manuel Torres. At first, Manuel Torres had value. That line has gone way down. He opened as a dog, plus 140, plus 155, and then boom, dropped off the face of the earth. He is now minus 129. Wait on that for sure. I think we might be able to get a plus 140 on Drew Dober. People are going to think he's out of it. They're going to see the steam on Torres, and they're going to want to go after that. So I would say wait on Dober, but Dober I give a 55% chance of winning, and there may be value at that plus 150 if we can get it. I call that blackjack value, where we pay straight up money to win blackjack prices. So if we get that plus 150, we take it. Okay, and then the final 2 fights tonight, I go reverse on both of those, and this is why I'm going to start getting these out early to you guys, because I apologize other than those on the live stream, which I guess is poetic justice. You guys are watching my stream. Thank you so much. You get bets early. Although I think this thing moves back because everyone's going to bet Joey Body Bag Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer was a minus 500, minus 550, and Gastelum was a plus 400 here. So if we take a look, I bet Gastelum right here, available plus 400 from March 17th until yesterday, the 22nd. And even this morning, we had a plus 390. Bet him at plus 400, bet him at plus 395. I have 2.5 units on him at plus 398 combined, and that's to win 9.95 units. Someone came in, maybe they heard what I was saying, and they dumped it on Mr. Gastelum. So he's down to a plus 280. Still value. Now, full disclosure, my metrics say 55%. That's a tough one for me to get to, but Kevin Gastelum is that dude, and if he's serious about training, which I have seen him training down in Mexico. Now, I wish it was a 5-round fight. It's a 3-round. That is a little disappointing. Joe Pfeiffer lost his 5-rounder to Hermanson. I think that would have been a much better situation for us. It's only 3 rounds. However, Gastelum's smart, and I think he can pick his spots and potentially win some rounds. I see this one potentially going the distance. Gastelum is tough as they come, very experienced, and Pfeiffer, against the lower level guys, he knocks him out. Against some of the higher level guys, he's still good. He's a great fighter, gets big shots in and can get the win there. But if we take a look at Gastelum's last couple of fights, no, he's doing some grappling tournaments. That's scary. He does knock out Marc-Andre Barriault. He's kind of a middle-level fighter. He was in minus 310. And so, again, if we just take a look, things don't quite add up. Marc-Andre Barriault a plus 260. Kevin Gastelum a plus 400. Go figure on that one. Lost to Jack Hermanson as a minus 236. 5 rounds, though. That's what makes me a little nervous. Submits Abdul Razak Al Hassan, lower level. Gerald Mearshart, lower level, but a decision. That doesn't make a ton of sense. Oh, it's a grappling match. He beats Gerald Mearshart in a grappling match. Okay, that's scary. Beats Gerald Mearshart TKO punches, so maybe that's why he lost. He was afraid he was going to punch him. Now I'm kidding, but Gerald Mearshart minus 175. So I don't think Gastelum's going to have much of a wrestling advantage here. I do think he's really sharpening it up that. And, Joe Pfeiffer may just be so much better. He's got a better career in front of him. He could be a future champion depending on where things go. He's 28 years old. Gastelum, even though he's not that old, is on the tail end of his career. But still, we're making a pure numbers play. Gastelum's 33. Pure numbers play. This was at welterweight. That was at welterweight. Middleweight here wins a decision against Chris Curtis. That could be an example. Chris Curtis I guarantee you, Chris Curtis versus Joe Pfeiffer would not be that far apart. So there you go. Do I think he wins it? Maybe, but I do think we have value at that plus 400 number, so we're taking it. Last fight of the night, and if anyone ever is wondering if I bet favorites, here you go. I'm just betting value. Brandon Moreno here. Took him at a minus 185. This is an example, and we're going to dive into this, where the underdog is surprisingly overvalued, in my opinion, and it comes from one fight. Steve Erceg, let's take a look. Astro Boy was fighting some of the lower level guys in the division, so he comes out of Australia, and then he goes on a run in the UFC. He beats David Dvorak as a plus 230. He beats Alessandro Costa, who is a good fighter, at a minus 194. Beats Matt Schnell via KO as a minus 460. Matt Schnell is he's a middle level to lower level fighter. And then this is the fight that gave him all the praise, all the credit. Alexander Pantoja, 5-round decision. If he wins that 5th round, he wins the fight. He loses as an underdog, and then therefore he comes in against Kai Kara-France as a minus 250, and he gets TKO'd. And this is where the alarm bell should have went off. He was way overvalued in this fight against Kai Kara-France, and now, as a dog, he, in my opinion, is being overvalued against Brandon Moreno. He really shouldn't be fighting Moreno, in my opinion. They need to be giving him not the contenders in the division. They need to be giving him right below that. He's a good fighter, but he's going to keep getting beat by these guys. Brandon Moreno just went out there and absolutely styled on Amir Albazi. I had him in that fight as a slight favorite. Again, we can take a look at what that number was. It was a minus 175. I remember I took that all day. Amir Albazi was on a run. Some people were predicting the upset. Did not happen. I think the same thing's going to happen here. Moreno's going to be too fast, too long. Erceg's not going to be able to catch him, not going to be able to wrestle him. And I think in Mexico, give me Brandon Moreno all day. I have 3.7 units to win 2 on Moreno at minus 185. I think that's a fantastic bet. For you guys that like to parlay, I would put him in every parlay. I think it's a great line. You're getting value, and you rarely do on the favorites. So that is a recommendation from me. There's another bet here. I like David Martinez as the minus 400, but it's not showing real value. If you want to slap him with Brandon Moreno in the parlay, not a bad idea. But I think also you can just go straight up at minus 193, lay a little chalk on him, because I think this is the best bet of the night. I rarely get 85 percenters, and I have it right here in Brandon Moreno, and I happen to agree. If you take a look at the line movement on it, this is ridiculous, but this is also not real. No one was going to get the plus 105. That was gone in minutes. See, it opens at 712 at plus 105, and at 715, it's minus 155. And then it's at 801, it's minus 175, and it really is held there and creeped up. I see nothing but this going higher. Unless the market's just really that dumb. And I don't think it's that dumb. I think that he will be put in parlays. I think the market tends to overvalue favorites. And it doesn't know when there is value on a favorite. But I think Moreno in Mexico, a lot of people can talk themselves into throwing him in every single parlay. So my recommendation is bet it now. If you bet it now and the line comes down, I'll tell you one thing. If I get a minus 150 because money comes pouring in on Steve Erceg, this is going to be my biggest play of the year. 5 units minimum on it, probably more. I might have a bet to win 5 units. That's how confident I feel in this Brandon Moreno in Mexico City. I think it's not a lock. Nothing's a lock. I think it's an 85% chance of winning, which is about as locky as you're going to get. So there you go, guys. Let's switch over here to the bets that we have. Recap of the bets for UFC Mexico here. I'm going to have them right above me. Austin Hubbard, plus 165. We could put 2 units to win 3.3 units on that. Meli Costa at plus 158. We have 4 units to win 6.32 units. Vince Pichel, 1 unit to win 3.75 units. CJ Vergara, 3 units to win 6.95 units. That's at plus 232. Vince Morales is at plus 260, and we have 2 units to win 5.2 units. Kevin Gastelum, we got early at a plus 398, and we have 2 units to win 9.9 9.95 units. Sorry, we have 2.5 units to win 9.95 units. Brandon Moreno at a minus 185. We have 3.7 units to win 2 units on that fight. So that is everything we have on this card. It's a big card so far. We probably will add more. We have 18.2 units so far on the night, and we'll see. There may be more. This is going to be the last event of our quarter, so we're going to reevaluate. We've obviously been doing very well on our bets, but we are going to reevaluate how much we've gone up and how much we're going to put our unit size up. It may be a 50% increase, could be a 100% increase on our unit size. So there you go. If you guys have been trailing me this entire time, you guys will also be up. If you would have followed all my bets exactly, you'd be up 78.24 units since the beginning of the year. These are all documented. They're all on the videos. So we've really had a very nice run here, and we have placed a cumulative of 163 units. And so that's a 47.78% ROI on our bets, and we're averaging 7.82 units per event in profit. So there you go, guys. I'm very excited about this last one. I think we have value on this as well. I think it's even a safer card. I think we're definitely going to make money. We'll see if we're going to crush like we did last week. We could, but for sure, I think we're going to have a good week. I think we have some very nice mix of favorites with big underdogs, and I think it's going to do us very well in this event. And there you go, guys. So look forward to talking to you guys on Wednesday. We're going to have the midweek odds checkout. We're going to see where we're at, and then we'll have the Friday face-off video, and then I look to put out UFC 105 to you on Saturday morning. So stay tuned on that, and we'll keep rocking here so that we can see each other at the window.